Eric, you recently said that you were confident that the technology will readily scale.
Yeah.
Can you just explain why you're so confident right now?
If you allow me a little bit of nerdy technical stuff, and if I go over the top, you tell me. If you're trying to do something with plastic, you probably can compare it what you do at home if you are cooking porridge. Something thick, something difficult. And what is the issue? When you're cooking porridge, it's not difficult. But if you do not watch out, it just burns. It chars. And it is precisely that problem that if you go bigger with plastics and you have to heat a bigger kettle of porridge, you get more and more difficulty to get all that heat into that viscous mix and to get it agitated and stirred. We call it mass transfer and heat transfer. Those are the central problems in scaling any process that you are doing with plastic recycling because you're trying to cook it to pieces. And that's difficult. And there have been various very creative solutions. What we have discovered that our unique chemistry, and especially the temperature where it happens, makes it possible to use certain standard industrial equipment that is just perfect for that challenge. And that makes it believe to me that if I go bigger with that equipment, we know it. It has been done by others before. And the scale-up rules, as we engineers call it, are known. And that is different from the routes that most other people have chosen or have been forced to choose because their particular chemistry is only working in different circumstances. And that is a new learning for me, and that is why it is so good to do all these laboratory investigations and pilot tests, because it certainly makes you realize that you're actually on a track that has a lot of intrinsic benefits, because the upscaling is not that difficult, and that is why I also dare to take bigger steps. And that sounds a very technical story from somebody with a commercial role, but okay, you have to excuse me from starting out life as an engineer, and that is also why I can be so confident.
Okay.
It's fair to say that there is less byproduct, that we don't push the...
That also helps, yes, that also helps. Yeah? Because byproduct means additional processing. And additional processing means more integration, more loops, more recycle loops, and they all make life difficult. So it is simple, and it is pretty straightforward what we're doing. And my lips are itching to tell more, but I can of course not do that because we are on our way to protect our inventions here. But I think when the world will see it, it's going to be impressive.
And also maybe worth to say that it's, lower energy. And lower energy means
there's an additional benefit, but that is not so much a scaling issue. But yes, it uses less energy. Yeah, that helps.
But that means you don't push lower heat, lower temperature. You push things less to the boundaries and things of that. So there's a combination there, you see, Penny, that allows us
Yeah. The scaling is really related to how we think we can do it. And very credible indeed.
So, if the management is so confident, now the question is can we trust the management? I think when you're a new investor, there's two options. You either trust the management, you just blindly follow what they did, or the other way is you don't believe anything they say. This is just stock promotion. But I think the best exercise to do to trust management is it even credible? Well, maybe check out the Aduro history, what they did. They just joined in 2021 is the CSC exchange, super bad exchange, nobody care about them, right? But they don't care, they just start sharing the story, and in 2022 they start to work. They have independent validation with, of course it was lab, but after they did their R2 Bitsman, and that's where they got introduced with the shell GameChanger, and that's why they were failing to fail. That's what our Eric said. Since 2022 and now in 2025, they're still in the same program. they're still inside, so it's just only positive. Next, what they did, they have a R2 Plastics now commissioning. They have a addition of Eric Appelman. This one, I don't know if you know him, but you need to study this guy. It's like one of the best personal, most credible partner leadership man that Aduro can have. This is another good thing they have. Then they have like the customer engaging program. They start to have some people coming in, check their technology. Then they have to start to have a yield result, and they also have the XLP, that's the hard to recycle kind of plastics. They have the Total collaboration. They start to have a Nasdaq IPO. 2025 they had patent, other vertical with turf, and they start construction of NGP. So, I mean, for now, it looks like an execution story for now, right? Oh, maybe the hardest part is yet to come. The hardest part is just the NGP pilot, like, and now they're starting to have a roadshow everywhere. They're gonna announce their news when everybody's looking, not before, right? And that's what I'm expecting. Okay, what they changed in the past few years? Yeah, they they don't do something and they never change idea. They switch their vertical from bitumen to plastics. Yeah, they still do bitumen, but they focus more on plastic because this is where the revenue is better for shareholder, and that's what I understand, and this is what they pretty much are saying. This is where the revenue will come faster, and also the NGP size. They even decided to reduce it over time, and it was lower capex, and they were still you can still try what they want to try on it. So I think Aduro for now it's just a failing to fail story, execution story, and we can trust the management. I believe so. You do your own work, but that's why one of the reasons I trust Aduro, what they're saying. And if you want to check out another story that these that you, another another story that these people are more like a failing to build loop industry. If we will have listened everything what they're saying, they will be have six plans by now, and they will have a couple licensing, and it will be a filthy $1 trillion company, right? But of course, nothing actually materialized. They just like everything they're doing is just like they have an agreement to build, and right away there's no like evaluation, there's no they just like one or two press release about this, and something they just quietly stop talking about it. This is a management I will be very hard to trust, and this is an example of management not executing. That's why now the price is so low, and every news they have, there's no any trust, no any excitement. They even have like in 2023 the SK due diligence of the products. They have the yield, they have everything. Of course, they don't show us. They didn't show publicly, but these people they even quit. They quit like in 2023. They stopped the project. Like this is the thing I look for in this plastic recycling company. And even the Hindenburg research, even though they might be biased, well, we're gonna have a video about that, like what to look for in this plastics company. But like this is a company I will not touch with anything. And another story, maybe it's not that. It's different. They still have built their plants per cycle, which more like a failing to operate. They have the pilot, they have the commercial plants, but it's not fully operational, and their products is less good as they said in 2021 when they're at their SPAC. So, I mean, like this, and they keep promising things like every kicking the can, and every time they have like kind of a, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, but like this is a management I would not trust. If the and that's the difference between Aduro. Everything we're saying, we're seeing the difference. They're so so huge, and I think when the news investor and they don't see the path that their early investors saw, they don't understand. And I think every investor should do that. Like when you start your company, and I think people do that, right? They check at their past history if they did what they're doing, and Aduro been very transparent on that. So that's my take. I'll let you do your own due diligence.